Like, technically, it's like a buyer's market across the country, but not for us.
Not for us at all.
It's like the opposite.
Yeah, like New Jersey is crazy.
It's absolutely.
Are you doing deals in Jersey?
Yeah. Well, not really, because my clients can't get their offers accepted.
Right? Dude, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah. It's like, if you want to buy a house in Jersey, you have to be prepared to, potentially put more money down, waive contingencies, close super quick, close in 3 months.
Yeah.
You have to be flexible because it's a seller's market there.
Totally. So I just feel like Jersey is just so crazy. But there's a lot of movement from Philadelphia to Jersey happening right now.
I'm also seeing the opposite too for the first-time home buyers, because right now, like, it's people with families, older, people that are more established in the professional career.
Yeah.
They can afford to play ball.
True.
Whereas in Philly, you can come here and still get a house for 5% down.
True. True.
Whereas in Jersey, it's like you really have to be patient and
have a strategy.
Yeah.
Well, even here, I tell buyers they have to have a strategy when they enter the market, but it's so much easier here.
Yeah, it is. You get to keep your contingencies. There's just more inventory.
Yeah.
And the inventory has been better than the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I'm
seeing that.
Definitely.
I'm about to list $1 million. I just listed Amber Street. I listed it for $299, and I'm hoping I get multiple offers and get into the 3s, but we'll see how that goes. And then I have a condo building in Strawberry Mansion. It's a duplex, a new construction duplex, very affordable. There are 2 units. The bottom unit has parking. It's a 3-bed, 3-bath with parking. That's going to go on for $379, and then upstairs.
The duplex is $379.
No, the unit A, $379. And then if I could buy a duplex for $379 construction, I would buy it.
Seriously.
I would buy it. And then, so unit 2, that occupies the 2nd and 3rd floor. That's a 3-bed, 3-bath, and that's going to come in, at $369, but no parking. And that's a really, really nice building. So I'm really interested to see how that goes too. But the suburbs, dude, the suburbs in PA, what's going on out there?
It's pretty much how Jersey is.
Yeah,
it's
right?
incredibly competitive.
Right?
When you start going further out into like Lancaster, even Lancaster is, pretty competitive still.
I don't do any business in Lancaster.
Yeah, Lancaster's like, you'd be surprised.
Too far.
I had somebody go under contract in Adams County. They put 5% down. That was cool.
Yeah?
It's about, 2.5 hour car ride?
Did you go out there?
No, I did not go out there.
Yeah, you don't have to because you're the lender.
I try to always go to closing.
Really?
It's
That's nice.
For me, I think it's important to put a face to a name. You see their driver's license,
that.
but because you guys are with them the whole time, showing them houses and whatnot. But it kind of puts the finishing touches on the whole process.
I like that.
Shake your hand.
There's not a lot of lenders that I've worked with that go to the closing.
Yeah, I've heard that. Thankfully, I feel like I gotta say in Philly, I don't know. I just think it's really important to show up, in every facet.
Yeah.
Especially on closing day when 99% of the time, any type of issues are done with, but you never know. So you want to be there.
Yeah. So tell us, let's talk about Philadelphia County specifically. If I'm a buyer, help me.
If you are a buyer purchasing in Philadelphia,
my first house. I'm a first-time home buyer.
Here's the first question I ask somebody before we even talk numbers.
Okay, go.
And a lot of the time they don't really have this answer, so it's good that they start to think about it. How long do you plan on being in this house and keeping this house?
Great question.
It really is a great question, because if you are buying a house just to buy a house because your friends are doing it and you have no game plan with it, that can put you in a bad situation. Like, buying a house versus renting is, right, like, I don't want to rent, I want to start building equity. It's great, but like, if you're buying a house to hold it for 2 years and then sell it, people don't realize your mortgage balance doesn't change the first couple of years. So in my opinion, if you're buying a house, especially in Philadelphia, there's so much value in just keeping that first house and turning it into a rental if you want to upgrade, or you just stay there for 5 years.
Yeah, at least 5 years, right?
I would say not necessarily stay there, but keep that house.
Yeah.
At least keep it for 5 years. Let it appreciate. After a couple of years, the balance really does start to go down. The liability depreciates, the asset appreciates at the same time, and then you start to gap up a little bit of some equity.
Okay. So if I'm like a young professional and I realize that it's really more expensive to buy right now than to rent.
You are looking to get started and start buying real estate, and same thing, you're not just buying a house to just hold it for a couple of years and sell it, then I think the power of building that equity up long term really becomes valuable for any sort of reason. If you need to sell that house, if you want to start a tuition fund, instead of doing one of those kids' college funds, that equity in that house is going to be great. So, like, yes, it's going to be more expensive for a rental, but eventually the payment will probably go down when rates drop. You get tax benefits as well. So I would say it really depends. Like, if you have a $700 swing from mortgage to rent, you got to really want to buy a house.
Yeah.
I had somebody in 23 when rates were almost 8%. They were living in a condo, and they were looking to buy in the condo building. It would have been about $1,400 more a month.
Isn't that crazy?
It's not worth it. Like, in that situation, it's really not worth it.
That's so crazy. It's insane. Like, it's so much cheaper to rent right now. Like, I don't know. And then with our generation, I feel like the sentiment is like, well, I'm going to be responsible for taxes, maintenance, all that shit, when I can just pick up the phone and say, hey, landlord, something's messed up in my apartment. Can you come fix it? What's your opinion about that?
Well, here's what I would say. Like, to the argument that, number one, I have lived in apartments where you call to get that thing fixed.
Yeah.
And then they don't show up 3 times in a row, so you canceled work or whatever you were doing. They do the repair, and then the leaks continue. It's a nightmare. I've had absolutely terrible experiences with renting. So being an owner, it's your property. So you get to choose what contractors you're going to hire.
That's a good point.
So that's a point. I do think there's value in that. There's value in the fact that your rent can go up to, whereas with a 30-year fixed mortgage, and rates are higher again. So it's like you might have a higher payment today, but in theory, your payment might go down a little bit, but at least it should stay close to this.
I have a question for you. What are you saying to the people who are like, I'm just going to wait for rates to come down?
Oof.
Right? I get that so much.
So when every 1% that rates go down, in theory, enters the marketplace with about 5 million more buyers nationwide.
Okay.
So as rates come down, competition arises. So honestly, right now rates are back up to 7, which kind of stinks. But when they're in their like that low 6 range, you have a very balanced market because you have a nice amount of buyers and sellers are still like able to sell their house. Is that him?
Yes.
It sounds like he's like. Yeah, we talking about you, Benji. Come here, mister.
You want to be in the video?
Oh.
You want to be in a video?
Oh, you're so precious. You're so precious. Is that your mom? Is that your mommy? What's your favorite type of house, Benji?
He wants a yard.
Is there anything with a big backyard?
He wants a yard. I think.
With a first-time seller. They've bought a house. This is their first house they're looking to sell.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I would ask them is what their goals would be. Like, have they considered where they're going after this? One thing for sellers, definitely needs to show really well. And price is so important. Come to market at a real price, and it's going to go.